Hello, wonderful people, viewers. Set to achieve, and today I just wanted to kind of just put out this reality check type of video. This is like a heart to heart, and I was just thinking about some things, and my question for you and for me is, what are you doing to ensure that you are not stuck, especially later on in your later years, when you can no longer do the things that you are currently doing right now? What are you doing to ensure that even when you cannot do what you're currently doing, you don't have the strength, you don't have the capacity to keep doing what you are doing right now, whether you're working a 9 to 5 or working a business, um, whatever it is that you're doing, and you are not able to, maybe you're too old, or you just don't have the mental capacity anymore, or you just don't have the stamina anymore to keep on doing what you're doing. What are you putting in place to secure your financial security? What are you doing to ensure that you will still remain stable and you will still be able to enjoy the quality of life that you are used to, or that you want, that you desire? Because looking around me, I have so many people that are older, even down to the person that was fixing like things around my house. Okay? The man was 88 years old and still working. I mean, it got to the point that it became a safety factor that, okay, this person, what if something happens to them and they collapse or die, while they're working, like working to that age? Even my parents, and just like there's a lot of people around me that got that degree and got that job, and but just worked that job to the bone and just did those things to the bone. Even that business, because the man, he was like self-employed or whatever, but just like not securing anything else, maybe whether it be digital, maybe courses or whatever, that you can teach other people to do what you do, or just anything else to ensure that they are still able to provide some kind of income for themselves and for their families, without having to do that labor or work that they were currently doing, or they were doing in the past. So that is like a real big question, and it really requires a lot of thought. We have to think about this thing. Even if I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s, I'm not going to be young forever. It's going to come to a point that I cannot do what I was doing in the past. I cannot, for me, I'm a professional braider. I cannot stand and do that forever. Even if you're a nurse, I can't continue doing that. Like, what are you putting in play and in place to ensure that you can still sit in your home and still make that kind of money or more? Whatever it is that you're doing, what are you putting in place? Whether it's a course, whether it's a digital, um, any kind of digital form of um, product that you could sell or put out to people, or your list. Are you list building? Do you have a list of people or followers? Do you have any kind of, a lot of people have maybe a social media platform that they're putting forth content that people are following them and eventually will buy whatever it is that they're selling? Like, what is it? Like, what are you doing outside of your 9 to 5, outside of your routine? This is something that is very, 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 very important, because I find so many people, like being a notary, coming up to me because I have my sign in my car, and I have so many retirees saying that, oh, I'm about to retire, or I am retired and I'm looking for something to help me to be able to, because I have a fixed income. I'm looking for something to help me to be able to still make some money while I'm retired. I'm no longer doing what I was doing before. I mean, it's real. It's everywhere. And these are people in affluent neighborhoods. These are people in low-income neighborhoods. These are people just anywhere. In restaurants, wherever you name it. And these are people that didn't really, when they were doing their 9 to 5, maybe they went to school, they got the job or whatever, and they worked the job to the bones, and maybe during their weekend times or free times, they never took the time to develop themselves in any other aspect. They just worked that just like a donkey with what they have, like blinders, the things that just keep them just like this. It's good to be focused, but I believe that being able to see beyond where you're at is very important. Being able to plan ahead so as not to be stuck is very important. So, okay, if I'm not doing this job, I don't care if I'm a doctor or a nurse or a breeder or a technician, whatever it is, if for whatever reason this thing stops, or I cannot do this anymore, what do I have in place to be able to still maintain the quality of life that I'm accustomed to, or better, when I'm older, when I'm not as strong, when I don't have the capacity to do the things that I'm currently doing, working this 9 to 5 job, because just even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, but at the same time, you're looking ahead to see what can I do, what asset can I acquire, to help me to maybe make money even when I'm not even doing this. Is it writing a book? Is it creating a course? Do I have a following, maybe a social media following that I could maybe put forth a lot of content to help people and eventually maybe sell some t-shirts. There's different print on demand things that you could do, things like I think it's Teespring or Printful, or there's so many other ones that you can do, just putting things out, because, and I believe that's a big one, with social media out there, just developing some kind of following, people that like whatever it is that you put out. They like your videos, they like your personality and stuff. Eventually you can sell something to them related to the content that you're putting out, but just something just outside of your routine 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you're doing. I think it's very smart, especially in today's economy, in the times that we're living in, to start thinking. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Start thinking in advance of what could happen, so basically like securing your future with your financial future, by being smart about what you're doing with your time, so that you're not in your 80s, your 70s, still trading time for money and fearing that you'll be fired, or fearing that you will lose your income, and fearing that you will quit your job and have barely enough to survive. That is the fear, and that is a reality of many people. If you go to Walmart today or any other store, Macy's, you're gonna see people in their 90s at the door greeting people. They're greeters. They're standing on their feet all day. Okay? Some of them really old. They're the ones that watch your bag when you're leaving at a Walmart or Target. They're watching your bag to see, okay, did you, pay for everything, or whatever the case may be. They're getting these jobs because they had their 9 to 5. They had the 9 to 5, but they retired. They retired at 65. And then after they retired, they were dependent on retirement. They were dependent on Medicare. They were dependent on all these things. And then they quickly found out that the money was not enough. barely enough to even keep them alive, much less to pay for their prescriptions, to pay for this or that, groceries, especially with the higher food prices. So they had to go back to get some kind of job, Walmart or all these places. So if you're not thinking ahead, that's how you're gonna end up. It's not a curse, but it just is what it is. It's reality. It's a reality right now. So I just wanted to put it out there to you guys because I see you all as family, my subscribers, my listeners, viewers, to start thinking about the future. Start thinking about what you can put in place now, okay, to help yourself so that you're not just depending on one source of income, you know. Even these little things like side hustles and these little things that you add up. So you're not just depending on, even if it's just that for now, having more than one thing. If you maybe you have your 9 to 5, maybe you DoorDash on the side, maybe you braid hair on the side, maybe you have your social media following, that you have people that you sell your little T-shirts on the side, like people can just go to the websites and just order the T-shirts and then you get a cut because you're the one that brought the customers. Whatever it is, I think that it's very, very smart to start thinking about what you can do so that you're not stuck, because nobody's gonna think for you. Nobody's gonna do this for you. Nobody. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this content. It's just a heart-to-heart type video. And again, this is Set to Achieve. If you've liked this content or it was thought-provoking in any way, like it, share, comment, and all of that. Okay. Remain blessed.